So, guys, I have been a Jaguar fan for a long time. I am a first generation Jaguar fan. Born in 93, the Jaguars were created as a team in 1995. So, I don't really know what life is like without having the Jaguars. And we've had our ups and downs. Obviously, a lot more downs than ups. And really, growing up, I was always a casual Jags fan. Jags were never my number one team. My number one team was more so the Florida Gators growing up, so I kind of followed them. But then once I got into UCF in the year 2012, went over there. Once I moved away from Jacksonville, I really felt a greater connection to the Jaguars because it really felt like that was my link to back home. And I was honestly starting to like the NFL a lot more. So, really, in 2012 was when I kind of shifted gears and really just followed all the day in, day out activity, free agency draft, who's on the injury report, watch every single game. 2012 is really when I really started all that. So, my freshman year of college. And obviously, that was the same year that Shad Khan took over. And, I have always found ways to be optimistic. I've always found different things to get excited about. But after just 10 years of ownership with Shad Khan, I feel like I'm at my lowest point as a Jaguars fan right now, which is shocking. And I say that because, look, Shad Khan, I've seen him come in here and bring in the brand new, hot, up and coming coordinator with Gus Bradley. I've seen him come over here and bring back a guy with head coaching experience with Doug Marrone. I've seen them go out and get the hottest name on the market, the new college guy who may not have coached in the NFL before. He at least had a lot of wins on his resume, championships on his resume with Urban Meyer. I've been in situations where, look, we have a top 5 draft pick this year. We have top 5 draft pick next year. We have all this free agency money. I've seen us draft guys. They come in. They either, most of the time, they bust and they're not good at all, or they're pretty decent, but we wind up trading them away. I've seen that. And now here we are this offseason. You know what I mean? We are coming in here with we need a new head coach. Obviously, Shad Khan's done a lot of bad things as an owner, and you would think after 10 years he would learn a thing or two. But now here we are in his 10th year. Terrible, terrible hire with Urban Meyer. You know what I mean? I can admit I wanted Urban Meyer. A lot of the fans wanted Urban Meyer. But the thing is, guys, it's not our responsibility to figure out that this was not going to be the right pick. All Shad Khan had to do was a littlest bit of research, and he would have figured out that, look, this is not the right guy for this situation. This isn't even the right guy for the NFL. And even the biggest Urban Meyer pessimists did not realize how bad Urban Meyer was going to be because he was terrible all the way around. So you bring in that guy to the organization, and then you retain Trent Baalke, who has one of the worst reputations around the NFL. We can go through and say, okay, he drafted this guy well, maybe this free agent signing was good. All that is thrown off the table because he's not a good guy to work with. Nobody likes to work with him. You know what I mean? No head coach has ever liked to work with him. And now here we are, the Jaguars fire Urban Meyer, and apparently a report came out that Shad Khan is going to retain Trent Baalke. You know what I mean? And now Jaguars fans are revolting. They're calling this a clown show. And rightfully so. This is a clown move if you're going to keep Trent Baalke around. Will you ever learn? And I'm in a situation now where, look, I thought Trevor Lawrence was going to come in and change things. I thought, look, one thing we've had a lot of bad quarterbacks. We've never had this type of quarterback before. And then the Jaguars are ruining this dude. He's not progressing at all. However much you want to put on Trevor Lawrence, you can put stuff on Trevor Lawrence. Look, he does need to be better. But look at the surroundings. Look at the atmosphere that we placed Trevor Lawrence into. And now Shad Khan wants to do a half measure and half pull the plug. He was forced to fire Urban Meyer. He literally had no choice. He 100% had to fire Urban Meyer. And then now with Trent Baalke, I mean, I don't know how he's not firing him. I'm really hoping, look, 5 more days to the last Sunday of the NFL season. Obviously, Jags fans were revolting. They're letting their voices be heard. This Sunday, there's going to be people in clown costumes at the Jag game. Local media, national media, there's got to be people inside the building, former players. Everybody knows this is not the right decision. So Shad Khan could be in a situation where, you know, they force his hand to basically fire the GM. So boom, Jaguars have no head coach, no general manager. Okay, now it's time to change things around, get the right guy in office. But the thing is, how am I supposed to trust this man? How am I supposed to trust this man? Just a year ago, he hired Urban Meyer and Trent Baalke, and this is a guy that I'm going to trust to get things right. I don't know. I don't know what he needs to do. Obviously, he needs to hire the right coach and the right GM, and then maybe bring in an executive vice president of football operations to really oversee the football side of things, because Shad Khan is obviously clueless. But something needs to happen. I mean, there's been too much losing going on. And it sucks. It is not fun. You know what I mean? Like, we're just getting, no pun intended, but we're getting clowned every single Sunday. We're a laughing stock. I mean, look at us. In 2017, the last time we were in Foxborough, we were toe-to-toe with the New England Patriots. Obviously, we all know what happened. Lost the game. Miles Jack wasn't down. Up 10 points. Should have won. Whatever. Look, we were in that game. About 9 months later, you're hosting the Patriots at home in a Week 2 matchup, and we beat them. It was an awesome game. Awesome home game. But looking back and seeing the direction of those two franchises, New England's back up there, and Jaguars are rock bottom. Rock bottom. And, you know, I've seen teams turn around pretty quickly. A couple years ago, the Arizona Cardinals had the number 1 pick. Look at them. They're in a playoff picture. 2020, the Cincinnati Bengals had a number 1 pick. Joe Burrow, they surround him with weapons. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. And look at them right now. They're in the playoffs. AFC North champions. Even the Browns made it back in there. You know, even within our own division, I mean, in the last 10 years, all of our teams in the divisions have had a number 1 pick. The Texans have a few AFC South titles. The Tennessee Titans had a number 2 overall pick Marcus Mariota. They didn't even get the quarterback pick right. And look at them. They're back-to-back AFC South champions. The Colts, obviously, you know, they've had their low picks or whatever, but, you know, they're right back in it. I mean, their owner is a drunk kind of idiot, but look, he knows football at the very least, so he knows what he wants in his football team, and he hires the right guys. I mean, they had Josh McDaniels back out after the Super Bowl. You know, they had Josh McDaniels locked down to be their head coach in February, and he backs out. And what do? They go out and hire Frank Wright. Oh, it's okay. We can't do that. And it's all, the worst thing about the Jaguars is that, look, our roster is not very good, but the roster is not the worst thing about this team. The worst thing about this team is what's going on inside the building, the structure. And I don't know enough about NFL structures to, you know, I'm a fan just like you guys. I've never been in the NFL buildings. I don't know how the hierarchy is supposed to work with director of player ops, GM, you know, the pro player personnel. I don't know all that. I don't know about the executives. But what I do know is that something is wrong here, where communication is terrible. Everything is just organizationally dysfunction. It's all dysfunctional. And it's not hard to know that, because read reports online. Everybody says it. You know, former players go out and say it. You know, reporters who have sources say it. It's all bad. And it's all under the watch of Shad Khan. And it sucks because, look, Shad, I do believe that he wants a winner. I mean, he goes out there and spends the money like no other. If you compare him to Wayne Weaver was cheap. He didn't really want to spend any money, but he hired the right guys. Shad Khan is willing to spend the money. You know, I mean, he's down to put down the money to make this team good, but he just has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing. You know what I mean? And we have people on a local media. Oh, Shad Khan's done great things for this team. The clown emojis are disrespectful. Look, I am not going to pity a billionaire when he's done this to us. Look, honestly, I'm at the point where I would rather this team not be in Jacksonville than have to get my hopes up and have to endure 4-12 seasons year in, year out. Because I'm over here, we're watching great games, week 16, week 17, week 18, and we're losing the Patriots 50-10. This is an annual thing. This isn't a one-off thing. There's teams that have, Patriots, they had one bad year. Look, they're right back into it. Sometimes Baltimore's down. They get right back up. They're right in the playoff picture. Steelers, all these teams. But the Jaguars, the season's over by November. The season's on life support by October. Our only exciting month where we're actually relevant is September. And usually we go 1-3, 0-4. If we're very lucky, we're 2-2. Nothing better than that. I mean, come on, man. And I sit here and I always find ways to be optimistic. And look, the season's going to be over. And I'm going to continue to find ways to be optimistic because that's just how I am. Got to have hope. If you don't have hope, then I don't know how you can be a Jags fan. But obviously things had to change. But it's depressing, man. I mean, yesterday, it was Monday. I was kind of depressed. And I knew it was because of the Jaguars. This team affects me like that. I shouldn't let it affect me like that, but it does. I see other teams and quarterbacks throwing all over the place, offenses having fun. You have players getting touchdowns and jumping into the stands as they're winning 31-20. They're scoring points, close, fun games. They find ways to edge it out. What do we have? We have terrible product on a football field, and then the national media makes fun of our fans. Oh, Jags fans, they don't care. All 7 other fans aren't going to, who's going to show up to the games? Like, that's what sucks. Is because it almost feels like we need to be better. Like there's something that we can do to make this team better, but there's nothing that we can do. I mean, the only thing we can do is try to protest the owner. I mean, we've had impacts making news articles. I mean, we made multiple news articles this year from donating to Trevor Lawrence's wedding fund to get him a toaster. Now the whole clown thing. You know what I mean? I mean, we make the news, but my gosh, I want to start making the news in good ways, man. I want to show up at, the Jacksonville airport after a big win and greet them home. You know what I mean? I want to love this team and love the players and embrace this team, but, we come in here, we sign free agents to ridiculous amounts of money. They don't live out their whole contract. They're cut after 2 years. We get these draft picks. They turn out to be busts. Rinse and repeat. We have the number 1 pick in this next draft. We have all this cap space. We're gonna have a brand new head coach, probably brand new GM, and we have Trevor Lawrence. And somehow I'm at my lowest point right now. You know what I mean? It's terrible, and I know a lot of you guys are there with me. It's just frustrating. You know what I mean? I should be. Last Sunday, I made a decision. I don't want to live stream the Patriots game. I don't want to live stream it because I know we're gonna get killed. I'm just going to sit there in my living room, watch them pull red zone up, and just relax. And thank God I did that. But that should be a game where the Jaguars, we're, 9-6, vying for a playoff spot. We look like we're going to get in wild card, but can we get in the AFC South title? It should be something like that. Where it's exciting football, not, okay, let's watch this bloodbath and look at a real football team and have their players laughing on the sidelines, having fun. They're putting Brian Hoyer in the fourth quarter. I want to put CJ Beathard in the fourth quarter after Trevor Lawrence throws 4 touchdowns. Those are 320 yards, and have CJ Beathard go in there and hand off to Reichwell Armstead and have our backups in there. But no. We got to sit there and cringe that, nothing bad happens to Trevor Lawrence and nobody gets injured. And, shout out to all you guys for sticking with this channel, man. You guys are the real ones. I enjoy making the videos and everything, but man, this would be so much more fun if we were good. Oh my God. Can you imagine my live stream game reactions. Oh my God, they'd be so much fun. Could you imagine my live streams, my videos? I don't have to just sit here and complain the whole time. Come on, Jaguars. Be better. This is a toxic relationship. A very one-sided relationship. I'm giving, I'm trying to make it work, but you're not giving anything back to me. It's rough. It's rough. But all right, guys, that's all I got. That's my rant. Hope you guys enjoyed. Go Jaguars. Duval till we die. I'm out.